Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs. I know I've been kind of scarce lately, but I've been kind of busy. I got 2 new customs done recently. Been doing a lot of work on the car and stuff like that, so I just haven't had much time to do too many videos. But I have some reviews and some customs for you today, so hopefully you guys enjoy. First up is Volstagg. I already made Hogan. This is Volstagg, obviously, and then I'll be doing Fandral next, so I'll get the Warriors 3 done. This guy measures 9 inches tall, just about. He's made using the blob Build-A-Figure base, and I was really pleased with how he came out. I wasn't really too psyched on doing this guy at first, being that he's pink and gold and kind of weird looking. But I have to say he's kind of grown on me. I did choose to use the blob body because I thought it was really fitting for the character. I know in a lot of the artwork he is this big compared to the other guys. Sometimes he's not, but I prefer the bigger look, and it really got the right proportions for me, so I was happy to use that. I did sculpt over the ab crunch, which isn't really an ab crunch, but whatever joint you want to call that, on blob. I didn't want it there. It was kind of ugly and it didn't serve much purpose, so I got rid of that. And it let me make the torso look much more smooth and sleek, so I was happy to do that. I added a belt all the way around. It's like 4 different pieces of a Planet Hulk shield strap, I think, plus some buckle I found, and I sculpted the belt loops. I sculpted this shirt down here that hangs down past the belt. I sculpted over the blob legs just a little bit, not completely. I wanted to make it look like he had pants over the fat rolls, so I left some of the fat rolls there just peeking through a little bit. Hopefully you can see that. And I sculpted the boot cuffs, and I sculpted the gloves up here, sculpted the shoulder things, sculpted the neck thing, sculpted the beard, mustache, and helmet. And that does it for the sculpting. Oh, I also sculpted over his fingertips so that he didn't have fingernails. What should I talk about next? I don't know. Let's talk about the paint. Since he's supposed to be pink, I went ahead and did the pink on the shirt the way it's supposed to be. I kind of gave it a little bit of shading so it didn't look too bright pink and like a little plastic toy from Mattel or something like that. So there is some shading. It's not completely bright pink, it's a little bit darker. I talked my customer into letting me give him a darker pink and giving him a brown belt and then the light brown pants, and here comes the cat. Come on, cat. You're screwing up the lighting again. Come on, buddy. Sorry, buddy. Okay, so back to the paint. And then for the pants, I did like 3 or 4 different shades of brown just to give it a nice light brown color so that it kind of matched the yellow that he's supposed to have. But I really didn't want to make yellow pants. I thought it just looked way too cartoonish, and the light brown I think is a lot more realistic, but still reminiscent of the regular character. And then also he's supposed to have the yellow boots and gloves, but I wanted to do gold just to make it a little bit more realistic, and I think it looks good. I'm really pleased with how that turned out, and I wouldn't do it differently unless I absolutely had to. I'm really happy with the way it looks, and my customer is too, so I'm glad we went that route. For the little frilly things on the top of his helmet, I know a lot of people have trouble making those, and I didn't know what I was going to do, so I finally decided to use some twist ties from like a specialty candy shop. They make gold ones, clearly. You know what? Here, I'll just pop the head off so we can talk about that a little easier. It is a Build-A-Figure, so it comes apart pretty easily. So for the head, there we go. For these things, I just used these gold twist ties. I connected them and shaped them the way I wanted to, and I trimmed them up so that they were pointy on the tips. And I think they work perfectly. They suit the purpose exactly as I wanted them to, and I was really happy with that. And then for the beard and mustache, I just sculpted that with some abs, or however you pronounce that. And there you have it. Blob head, completely resculpted, sculpted a helmet on top of there. And that's that. Pretty simple, straightforward stuff. I sculpted over the seam around his neck for his shirt because we didn't want that. And like I said, I sculpted this. So pretty relatively basic. Took a little bit more work than I anticipated, sculpting over this big joint across the torso all the way around. Like I said, it was a little bit more work, but I think it was necessary, and it turned out pretty good. I made the collar a little bit shorter than it is in a lot of pictures, just because the way the head sits, it's already kind of high, and if I made it too big, it would have just looked weird, I think. So I was pretty set on making it kind of short like that, and I think it looks good that way. The sword, since the blob doesn't have really good gripping hands, I put a magnet in his hand, and a magnet, you probably can't see that. I put a magnet in his hand, so there's a magnet in there, and there's a magnet on the sword as well, and I didn't sculpt over him or anything because I wanted a real nice connection, and you can't see it anyway, so I put a magnet in both so that he can hold it. It looks like he's holding it, but the hands just really couldn't get the job done on their own. The sword is, I think, from the Marvel Select Loki from the movie. Not positive, but I think that's where I got it from. I did a little bit of repainting, and it fit him perfectly. I also made for his other hand, since he is Volstagg, a piece of meat, a drumstick of sorts. Some shading on there to make it look like... Can we focus? Come on, camera. Focus on the meat. I think it's focused. So anyway, there's some shading on there just to make it look like it's cooked and golden brown and crispy. And I didn't want to put a magnet in this hand since it's probably not the kind of accessory somebody's going to use on a regular basis. But he can hold it well enough if you position it right. It's just kind of a little bonus. The customer didn't ask for it. I just wanted to add it in there. Now, of course, I can't do it on camera. But he can hold it well enough if you use two hands and actually put it in there. Oh, come on. Nothing ever goes the way you want it to on camera. So there you go. So he's got a little piece of food there. Since he is Volstagg, he needs his food. And there he is, guys. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys think about this figure. And if you have any ideas for what I can use for parts for Fandral, let me know, because I haven't even looked that up yet. So if you guys have any input, that's always good to hear too. Like I said, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the rest of the videos. And in the meantime, keep collecting.